go ahead and...
Can you show me where I can get one?
Yeah.
I want to try.
Oh, you haven't got one? Go ahead and go in here. And then down. Just the last couple of days, I saw 8 chickens and a turkey. I got more people coming tomorrow to get...
So let me introduce you to who's gonna save your life when the next drought comes. Garbanzo. In the census of 1821, everybody in the Santa Cruz Basin, which was from Alcalde to San Ildefonso, was growing garbanzo. Why? Drought tolerant. If you want to get global on this situation, 90% of the garbanzo production worldwide happens not in desert conditions, in hyper desert conditions. Less than 5 inches of rainfall. So that's what this Mother Earth and her seeds are capable of feeding you in those most God-forsaken conditions. The other one who's gonna save your life, lenteja. If you don't have garbanzos and lentejas to survive the drought, you might make it with beans. But not as good as with those guys. You'll still be a little skinny. And we don't like that. You skinny people can be broken easy. Sorry. Here's some other beans. Actually, I take it back about the beans. You know, because beans can save your life if, in the drought, they're tepuris. A lot of us haven't heard of tepuri beans. These are my white varieties. I also have a yellow variety and a brown variety of tepuri from southern Arizona. Save your life. Cure you of diabetes. Yeah. Tepuri beans. And boy, do they taste good. Yeah, you
How do you prepare them? What do you put them with?
Hey.
Anything.
You know how I like my beans? Beans and water.
Yeah. Tortilla, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, you want to get all fancy afterwards, but I'm talking about, you know, I don't need to put bacon in there. I don't need to chop up an onion. I don't put garlic. It's beans and water. But the thing is I'm eating beans that came from my tierra, so, you know, I'm already, you know what I'm saying? Here's some more lentejas. Those are lentejas, lentils. You know, keep all this stuff alive. Keep our cultural legacy going.
And it was really nice to work with my hands. I mean, it's something that doesn't happen very often in Albuquerque.
There's so much history. And I feel like this weekend I'm just bursting. I can't wait to get to work. It's just the beginning of the season. It's going to be a good one.
The beauty of what I've been able to experience with the interns and with this opportunity that we've had with the Trujillo family, Adan and his padre and Omar, you know, them opening up their home to share this wealth of knowledge, and then also to have Miguel come from his house to share his knowledge on seeds and kind of like the global climate of what's happening with our food and all of these GMOs and the importance of harvesting our seeds and sharing, you know.
It was phenomenal. I don't really have words to express what I'm feeling right now. It's a little too much. You read about the literature and you also hear about northern New Mexico, but you don't really know what it is until you come and experience it for yourself.
This is actually my first experience working with acequias. I've studied them in college, but never had the opportunity to come out and actually clean one.
You know, it's just exciting to see a group of young people so excited. You know, a lot of these people who have history up in the northern New Mexico or in Colorado.
No matter what happens in the future, at least this knowledge, which to me is sacred, can be perpetuated. And and how many seeds did we plant today? How many people are listening to these words? Every single person, even if they weren't tuned in 110%, took something away from it, and I don't know what that was, and maybe they don't even know what that was. But again, it's planting seeds of consciousness.
And part of the pleasure that we have of living here is sharing this environment, sharing our relationship with the land and one another, with those people that come here. No importa la raza, no importa la edad, cada persona es humano, ¿verdad? And it doesn't matter if you're white, brown, black, green, if you come here and if you're willing to work side by side with us, you're part of our familia. And I think people get a sense of that, and they're very appreciative of the fact that we're such an open and receptive family. But, there's, in my mind, no real other way to be, and so I'd like to thank all of you at Centro de la Raza and, all of you who have, come here to have an experience that I hope that you'll carry with you.
So all of that to us is what we're all about, is trying to get as much of this experience out to people of your age group. And in particular, we're also interested in reaching out to our own Latino community, because it's not always readily available to our Latino community, because we've been so urbanized over the years, but all of us had a farm background somewhere.
The pleasure was all ours of having you guys here. It's been an amazing experience, one that I've enjoyed.
I think the whole experience in general was, to me, one of the most rewarding experiences ever, because it really opens your eye to what nature has to offer for you. My parents are from Mexico, and they did the whole farming thing and, having their own cosechas and everything. And, coming here, so little, I was never exposed to that. I never learned anything about it. So going to El Rincon farm, and, you don't learn everything, but, you get the gist of it.
So my experience at this trip was just completely, I kind of expected, the hard work and things like that, but I think ultimately it was just like so much knowledge just gathered everywhere, and just just fulfilling and just like thankful.
In short terms, it blew my mind. In larger terms, this place and these people are just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I feel like I'm grounded into my roots right now. Overall, on this trip, from Miguel, from the trip, from camping, from everything.
It's just beautiful. It's just, sometimes we need to get away from the city and, that crazy life. And just appreciate the stuff you have around.
To really hear the Trujillos and also Miguel talk about the connection to the land, to let us work it and try it for ourselves, has just been incredible.
I felt that Miguel Santisteban was very real of what he was informing us about, and he spoke from his heart. And I learned so much that just made me more aware of more problems that's going on besides energy crisis, or besides just other crises that are going on, that especially about planting and water and agriculture, that I would have never ever even really cared about. I thought that would be such a great impact on society.
It's cool to know that there's still hope, and that there's things that we can do, and things that our ancestors used, that we don't even think about using, nowadays. So getting insight about that was pretty awesome.
I just think it's amazing how, much help, a lot of work is put into it. Things that we don't really consider, and how some people really, this is their life, and they have a lot of passion for it. I guess it brings back memories, because my father too, he used to work in the alfalfa fields, and it's hard work, so it makes you just appreciate farmers and natural foods.
But it really teaches you what nature has to offer for you to to do things the natural way. And with the whole the acequia and everything, it was hard work, it wasn't easy, but that it's so much better to do it the natural way than with all the chemicals and everything that you have in the supermarkets and stuff, to farm your own vegetables and everything. So
we had a hard work today here at the farm in Rincon because we had to start cleaning the ditches all the way from the back, and it was awesome because it was teamwork and we started early so the sun wouldn't catch us. It was amazing, and we're still working on it right now. And we were all tired, but we still keep on working because we gotta help. We gotta help our people.
What I learned at this trip was so much. I learned about agriculture, I learned about seeds, I learned different types of seeds, I learned about different beans, I learned so much about culture and history, and I learned how to meet people. I learned meeting people in the farm. I learned about animals. I learned more about the internship, more about the girls. I learned so much overall and everything.
I have never, ever worked at a ranch or farm. I have never camped. I had never used a sleeping bag, nothing. So this was just very, I can't even define it. It was just very eye-opening, I guess, and mind-opening. But it was also like so relaxing. It was just like a getaway.
I feel like I'm in awe, so I feel a little silly talking about it, but to know, yeah, we put in some hard work today, a couple hours, right? And this is what people do every day, every year. But to know that we helped a little bit, you know, to let the water run a little smoother so it can reach the crops, so that things can grow, so that we can eat eventually, right? This stuff's going to make it down to Albuquerque and we're going to consume it. It's just cool. I have no green thumb, I've always said. I haven't ever grown any of my own food. But, so to help out with someone else and maybe think about doing it myself someday.
La plática con el profesor Santisteban, el científico Santisteban, fue increíble. It was really inspiring to see all the work that he's doing with the seeds, with the garbanzos, with the beans, and being able to see all the seeds that we sow and then eat. It's a wonderful experience.
You know, I learned something. Don't you ever have oranges near goats. Otherwise they will attack.
I would do it again. I would hopefully sooner, just to see maybe, you know, when the crops start growing and stuff like that, just to see the work that we put into it, or at least, you know, the little bit that we helped, just to see that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because, I mean, not to mention that these people are really grateful for what they have, but it's so refreshing to see, you know, people work, you know, la naturaleza, you know, work what God gave us, and to make it really fruitful is awesome. So.
Would I do this again? Hell yeah, I would do this again. I would, if I had kids and a family, I would 100% raise my family like this. So yeah, I'll do it again.
Es increíble ver a toda la gente trabajar. Gracias a el Centro de la Raza por haber proveído de esta increíble oportunidad de poder trabajar con la comunidad.
Please don't go.